We're going to be talking about the 7 toughest money talks that we have had to have.
To date.
Coming up.
Stay tuned.
Hey, I'm Talent.
And I'm Ty, and we're from hisandhermoney.com, where we're teaching you how to have better money,
become a better couple,
and live a better life.
This video is being brought to you by Legal & General America.
It's time to get your life insurance together with Legal & General America. As one of the nation's leaders in low-cost, high-quality life insurance to over 1.3 million families, we know how to protect you. For nearly 7 decades, we've been the first and only carrier to add 10 more years of security to our policies for a total of 40 years of life insurance coverage. If you need basic protection until retirement, that deal is perfect. Legal & General America makes understanding and applying for life insurance easy. Our agents are standing by to help you determine the best coverage to fit your family's needs. Visit hisandhermoney.com/LGA to get started on your journey toward financial wellness.
All right, guys, listen. Whenever you are in a marriage and a relationship, it is imperative, super important, that you don't let time go by without having conversations around your money, because you two are one, and you all are going to have to be on the same page if you want to break out of debt, build wealth, and live a life on your own terms. And we have found this out to be true in our own story. And you know, money talks don't always go over super easy because money is emotional, and sometimes those conversations can be emotional. But nonetheless, those talks must happen. And we're going to talk about 7 of the toughest ones that we've had to endure.
And if you haven't had these talks, then we'd highly encourage that you do. So the first one is the amount of debt that we were in. You guys have heard our story again and again and again, but that was so important prior to us getting married that finally the truth came out, and we needed to be made aware how much debt we totally were in, or you were in.
Yeah,
right?
That was me.
Yeah. But either way, we know that there are some couples, some people that are actually married, and you're living a life as a lie. You probably are carrying credit card debt, or you have other debt to the side that your spouse does not know about. So this is a tough conversation, but one that you must definitely have.
And some of you are just operating in ignorance, kind of going off what you think you owe, and there you can't make a solid plan to get out of it if you don't have exact numbers. So you two need to talk in full detail about how much debt that you have, whether that's calling the bankers and the creditors to find out exactly where you're at. You need to have that tough talk and get crystal clear on that number.
All right, number 2 is that of life insurance. You all, we had to have that tough money talk because, to be honest, it is pretty taboo. A lot of people don't like to talk about death.
To talk about death, right?
And I remember the feeling how uncomfortable it was to actually talk about, okay, how much are we going to get? And at the time, we chose at least 10 times our salary at the time when we were working. So that's so very important. Guys, don't be walking around without life insurance. Do not leave your family without life insurance. Our sponsor of this video, Legal & General America, is a very, very great company, one that will provide term life insurance, and they even have 40-year term. We wish that we had that when we first started, but they actually offer a 40-year term. You can get a free instant quote now by going to hisandhermoney.com/LGA. The links are also in the description box, as well as you can click it on the screen.
The third conversation that was super tough around money that we had to have was around our spending habits. 9 times out of 10, when you're in a relationship, you are going to have different styles of money, especially when it comes to spending. Usually there is a spender and there's a saver. For me, I'm the spender, and
I'm the
Ty
saver.
is the saver.
And without me, he wouldn't have any money to do things, and without him, I wouldn't know how to have fun.
And that's the point of this. You need to have that conversation, not to point the finger and not to change the other person into you. You need to be able to see each other's strengths. Like, there are times where the spender should take the lead. There are times when the saver should take the lead. But if you don't properly identify your spending habits, you're just going to silently be frustrated because you haven't communicated. And so you're mad that your spouse wants to always save, and you're mad because your spouse always wants to spend. Talk it out, see each other's styles, see each other's strengths, and blend it together to make a unified plan.
Number 4 is multiple account strategy. You all have seen our video while we have 13 bank accounts. If you haven't, you want to check it out. It's a game changer. But in the beginning, I was the one that was kicking and screaming. I did not want to have multiple accounts. My husband did. In a marriage, you have to compromise. You have to give in a little. And boy, am I so happy that we did, because that has totally revolutionized the way that we handle our money forever. And so simply, it's just setting up different sinking funds, but attach it to an account.
Number 5, investment strategies. It's important to have these conversations because you don't want to just be going to work every day and not really setting your future up to be brighter. You need to be talking about ways that you want to invest. And sometimes you'll find that you have different ideas, or one has no idea, or neither one of you know what you're doing. And so it's important to talk it out and then go figure out what you all want to do. That's something we had to do as well, because we have different styles when we want to invest. There's so many different ways to invest money, and so you're going to have to talk these things out. Evaluate each type of investment that is on the table. Maybe you do some, maybe you do all, maybe you do none, and do something different, but you need to discuss it.
Number 6, all about family loans. Hey, do you guys have some family members that say, hey, can I get a couple of dollars? Well, we had to have that conversation, especially early on in our marriage. We had lend a family member $6,000 at the time, and we were just really newlyweds. It was really all we had. We didn't have kids at the time, and so yeah, we lent it. And let me tell you, it was trying. The particular family member and myself, we kind of like clashed heads a little bit because I didn't think that they were paying us quick enough, but really they were going to be paying us. Everything's all good now. We love each other, but we realized after that, it just makes everything too uncomfortable. So if we can't actually give it out, we don't loan it.
Number 7 is kids allowance. Should you give your kids allowance or should you not? That's a discussion that we're still having.
Yep.
We're still going back and forth because there are pros and cons to both approaches.
And we were raised differently. In my household, I'm one of 5, and my parents were like, hey, you live in this house, you're to help contribute. So I'm not paying you to clean the dishes, and I'm not paying you to keep your room clean. Where you, on the other hand,
well, I was given certain things that I had to do free of charge because my last name was McNeely, but there were also some things that I could do to earn money, earn an allowance. And so we have these two varying styles, and we're trying to put it together to figure out how do we want to employ this when it comes to our kids. So for you all, you know, you might be raised 2 different ways, and you might have 2 different philosophies, and that's okay as long as you all are discussing and you all aren't doing things kind of independently, unilaterally, because in marriage it's important to have a unified front, especially when it comes to your parenting. So discuss and strategize around how do you want to handle kids allowance.
That's right. So we want to hear from you. Leave us a comment in the comment section below and let us know what were some of your tough money talks. So maybe we have a little bit more talking that we need to do as well. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Also, if you're not subscribed to our channel, subscribe. Hit that little button as well as that little bell, and you will be notified anytime we put out new content. Also, don't forget, you guys, we have a wealth of information over at our website at hisandhermoney.com.
That's all we got for this time, guys. It's been great. Until next time. Peace.
Bye, y'all.